Hi, I'm Tanja Korhonen, one of your teachers in this course Basics of Serious Games. This lesson covers elements in games. We talk about who is playing and why. The other issue will be types of players. The content covers aspects of player motivation. What kind of are the players and what motivates them? We will introduce some new concepts. Remember, all this is suitable in general game design, but applies as well in serious games. We start with motivation. So why people play games? Here is introduced a background theory by Richard Pardle. Pardle introduces 4 types of players: killers, achievers, socializers, and explorers. Explorers like to search and find things, items in the game world. The feeling of success comes from getting new items and using them to progress in the game. Achievers are more actors. They like to move around in game, such as explorers, and are not interested in others more than competitors to win. It is important for achiever to get points, move from level to other, and see own progress. Socializers play games for their interactive character. It is important to meet other players and have connections. This kind of player can have many good in-game friends that she has not met in real life at all. Killers want to win and be the best in games. Action and beating other players is in the big role. Bartle's model has 2 axles. The horizontal axle covers interest in game world or other players. Vertical shows players to acting or interacting types. Second model is introduced by Nicole Lazaro, the 4 keys to fun. In this model, it defines 4 types of games or players. First, there is easy fun type. Curiosity, will to explore is essential, and open world games are suitable for easy fun types. Had fun has a clear goal to win, to achieve a goal. This type wants some level of difficulty from a game. People fun type wants to play with friends and social aspect in game is important. If game includes competitive aspects, this type wants to play that game in teams. Serious fun game has a serious meaning in big background. Serious games could be any of above, but serious fun type is the closest one. Player motivation is connected to player types. Here is presented first social interaction. 2 or more player games appeal to this player type. It is essential to communicate and play together with others. Physical seclusion. Player rather plays at home in own peace than in public places. The opposite is not social interaction, the previous one, since the game can have a lot of social aspects and communication, but it differs from the real world. Competition. Motivation comes from competing against other players. Knowledge. Player wants to learn more about certain subject. This motivation can be unconscious, so there is a possibility to learn even if game is not necessarily meant for learning. Mastery. Player wants to master the game, develop the character to win. Points and ranking success are an important part of playing. Escapism. Player runs away from the real-world stress and challenges. Immersion in the game is essential. If you are not familiar with the concept of immersion, please find out what it means. Escapism is in many casual games. So casual games, they are shortly played games that one can start and stop easily, maybe progress one 5-minute level at a time. Then, addiction. Player is focusing on one activity at the cost of others. The active role in the game, decision making and feedback can establish a positive addiction. But where is the limit for negative addiction? So the game has good hook and player wants to play it again. So, next, the differentiating factors of players. First, geographics. When we design global games, the players are also coming from all over the world. There is difference in languages, cultures, and religions, and this can affect how players see our games. There is also different kind of equipment in use, and markets use many kinds of distribution channels, and this need to be addressed in the game design. This mechanism is called localization. It's adapting game not only by language but also culturally to different players. Secondly, psychographics. That consists of people's values, attitudes and lifestyles, and it is shortened VALS. The link guides you to a test where you can see your individual VALS type. You can think, what kind of player are you? Players can also be divided into casual players, I mentioned earlier, that play games in short periods. Hardcore players, on the other hand, spend much more time within the game. Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI, is one option to differentiate player types. Ernst Adams has researched using MBTI in games. Next slide will explain this further. On the left you see the VALS framework and on the right MBTI. The MBTI classifies people as intro or extroverts. Is information received with intuition or sensing? Is decision making made by feelings or thinking? Is world organized as perceiving or judging attitude? You can look for MBTI tests in the internet and try to figure out your own type. Demographics is statistics, like gathering information about gender, age, income, level of education, ethnic background and religion. Within the recent years there has been a trend that games are for everybody. It has been seen that even the smallest 6-month-olds want to touch smartphone screen, and by the age of 2 this sticky native is ready to play games with multiple devices. The other edge covers games for elderly, so all age groups are included. There are differences in players in certain game types. Not all appeals to everybody. Couple of years back, according to ESA, over 45% of players are female and their number is increasing. And over 68% of players are more than 18-year-old. From the link you can check up-to-date numbers. At the end of this lesson, I challenge you to think answer to these questions. Why do you play games, or why do you don't? What is your favorite game? What elements in your favorite game makes you keep playing? What is the fun factor in games for you? Here's some resources you can check and find out more information. The main reference has been Jenny Novak's book Game Development Essentials. This course material was produced as part of ESF-funded Serious Games Platform for Business and Education project.